And I just may do it. I got to find a little time somewhere to execute.
So I'm going to quote my 5-year-old son. He says, if you want to do something, just do it. I mean, sometimes it's just that simple. Like you go out there and you figure out what works and just do it.
Yeah. Well, I think it would be hugely popular. We'll bring it back. We'll bring the dance club back. There's not enough of them.
No.
There's not enough of them. And in a city like Dallas, Texas,
you would think they would have some.
We need a place to, to go chill and like just dance however we feel.
Just dance the night away.
I have a vision, and I do. I have a vision for it, but
without the alcohol.
Yeah. It's funny you say that. We'll talk about it another time. But yes, there are many ways to enhance yourself, and one of them would be through dance. So absolutely. But I love having you guys in studio. I've got Jill Lane here with me and DeWone Bennett. DeWone Bennett is a licensed professional counselor with over 11 years of counseling experience from Vallejo, California. DeWone has 2 master's degrees, and one of them is in counseling and another in psychology. He is currently in the process of finishing up his PhD in clinical psychology. He is the owner of Healthy Life Interventions Counseling in Oklahoma City, as well as his private practice, D. Bennett Counseling, here in Dallas. DeWone believes that the key to mental and behavioral success is the ability to master self-awareness and emotional control. We're talking today with DeWone about fixed versus growth mindset. I love this topic. And I have to say real quick, Jill Lane and I, we didn't get to all of our content, so we're going to record a podcast after the broadcast specifically about the gut microbiome, which will be up on our website in a couple of days. You'll be able to check it out. So we never get to everything because we talk so much, but I really do feel that conversation along with the education is a much more palatable way to really absorb it into the brain. At least it is for me. So anyway, I hope you like our style.
I like how you said absorb it into the brain.
Well, yeah.
It's very good for our gut brain.
Yes, for our gut brain
conversation.
And so, DeWone, okay, so what is the fixed brain mindset?
Okay, so a couple years ago, Dr. Carol Dweck came up with, I guess she was looking at learning and why some people are more likely to learn things than others. And so when you're talking about a fixed versus growth mindset, a fixed mindset is essentially someone who believes that the skills that we have we're born with, that you can't learn these skills, that whatever God gave you, whatever you were born with, that's your ability and that's your ceiling. And so what happens when you're talking about a fixed mindset is someone feels that you don't work for something. You either have it or you don't.
Wow. That's pretty. I don't even know what the word. I'm lost for words, which is difficult for me. And
very binary, right?
Very binary.
It's you either can do it or you can't do it. There's really no room in there to grow or learn something new.
Wow. That seems like a miserable way to live. Okay, but I'm just saying that. So what is a growth mindset?
Okay, so a growth mindset is the belief that learning and your abilities, learning comes from your practice and your ability to put forth an effort. So what happens with the growth mindset is you believe that the things that happen in your life, you control those things. So it's non-deterministic, that you control those things in a sense from, if there's something I need to learn, then I have to go through the process of growing and absorbing that information and trying to get the knowledge in order for me to be a better person.
Mm-hmm. Does it have anything to do with patience?
Well, I think so. I think if you're talking about somebody who has a fixed mindset, is that, their patience is limited because they feel like, hey, this is either going to work for me or it's not going to work for me. So the opportunity or the time that I need to learn something new or to develop a new skill, it's not innate for me to learn that. I was not born with the gift, so therefore there's no need for me to sit around and wait for this to happen. Yeah.
It seems fear-based to me, or lacking acceptance of other people and different ways of thinking. Like I said a minute ago, Jill laughed, but it sounds like a very miserable way to live if you've got a fixed mindset where you never want to open your mind to other thoughts.
And research does show that it can be very miserable and cause to a lot of stress, simply because what happens is you're introducing yourself to only situations in which you believe you could be successful, or in situations where you believe you could be the superior. So you're not engaging in things in which you have the opportunity to learn. Maybe you have to go through the process of figuring out, hey, this doesn't work for me, but if I keep trying and I keep trying and I keep trying, eventually I'll be successful. Well, when you're in a fixed mindset, you're kind of embarrassed by not knowing something.
Mm-hmm. Question, where do these mindsets come from?
Well, studies show it starts as early as 4th grade.
Wow.
They did a study where they compared 2 4th grade groups. offered them a puzzle. The puzzle was very simple for the kids to do. And what happened is they said, okay, everybody did good on the puzzle. Now we're going to introduce a new puzzle. The new puzzle was a little more difficult. No one really knew how to do the puzzle. And what happened is what they seen in the study was there was a certain group of kids who decided, hey, I've already completed this task. I'm really good at this task. I'm going to stick with the task that I already know how to do.
So they're lazy.
And then there was another group of kids who said, you know what? I want to try the new task. I want to figure out what this is. I want to figure out if I can actually learn a new skill and learn how to do this. So, research goes back as early as 4th grade and looking, because initially this started with learning and why we're able to learn certain things.
Makes me think that it's very environmental based, meaning what's happening with the language at home around if you're going to take on a new challenge, something that's uncomfortable to you that might push you out of your comfort zone. And if as parents, if we put our kids into those situations, or they might be more apt to have a growth mindset and not be so afraid.
Oh, absolutely.
Or so fixed.
I agree, and it's essentially boils down to the word "not yet." So maybe I don't know how to do something yet. I'm still in the process of learning how to do it. So if you think about kids and the daily things that they go through with schoolwork and maybe trying to figure out, how to do certain sport activities, if you're out there and you're running around and you're not good at soccer yet and your parents say, well, you don't have it, let's go try another sport, then what happens is you're conditioned to believe either you have it or you don't have it. Instead of, hold on, there's a process of really learning. Michael Jordan said it best, that I failed and I failed and I failed and failed until I started to succeed. And what that means is you have to go through a process of growth in order to get to a point to where you're able to succeed and appreciate what happened in that success.
Well, team sports seems to have, such a profound effect on perseverance. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whether, and it makes me think, and I think you answered the question, that a fixed mindset person could possibly be transformed into a growth mindset by being in the right environment.
Yeah.
Back to that. So
Yes.
whether it's being on a team or being with a, with a group of people who have more of a growth mindset, it can usher you along.
Well, and so how does this, I wish you could stay too. You're going to have to come back and we talk about this at length, maybe do a podcast after the broadcast, because, I'm thinking, how does it affect your relationships? How does it affect the level of success that you achieve in your life?
Well, so think about it from a relationship standpoint. So what research shows is that people who have fixed mindsets, they tend to look for partners who are going to view them on a plateau, somebody who's going to view them as the be-all, end-all, know-it-all, right? Because what they're looking for situations in where they're the expert, they're the person who's right, they're idolized, to where a person who is in the growth mindset, they look for a person who's going to acknowledge their flaws and be willing to work with them through the flaws. Now, people who tend to have fixed mindsets, they're going to be avoiding of the growth process of making a relationship work, because they're going to feel like, well, hold on, if we don't match now, if we don't click now, then we'll never click. Our relationship has to work for us now, because if not, it will never work. Where a growth mindset, that person will say, well, hold on, maybe there's some things about a relationship right now that we don't agree on, but through communication and working on that, then we can get to a point to where we're working together in our relationship.
Yeah. Oh my gosh,
I
love it. I love talking about this stuff. I hope everyone out there is loving it too. I'm sorry that we're out of time. There's some days like today, I wish I could be on the air for hours and just talk and take calls, but we're doing more and more of that. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. Jill, thank you. DeWone, Diamond, thank you. Thank you all for making this rocket go up. And another, who else makes this rocket go up is our great sponsors like Sun Warrior, the H Hemp Company, Paleo Magazine, the Wellbeing Journal, Crazy Water, and the International Society of Sports Nutrition. I hate when that happens. Go to your website, One Life, or go to our website. Okay, forget about it. I'm just getting off the air. You get one body, you get one mind, and you get one life. Get out there today and make the most of it.